Fidel turned 90 August the 13th, 2016. Happy belated birthday, Comrade Fidel. Fidel Castro Ruz is unique. He is one of a kind. He is a master of dialectics and revolutionary ideology, a supreme tactician, a magnificent Marxist-Leninist of our times. We cannot say enough how proud and fortunate we are to be living at the very same time, to be in the world at the very same time that Comrade Fidel walks the earth. It is exactly like those who lived in the times of Marx and Lenin, fortunate to observe and study from such socialists firsthand. And exactly like Marx and Lenin, Fidel will live forever. It is safe to say that there is no one else living today who could mark their 90th birthday and receive heartfelt good wishes from people of every single continent on the planet. From throughout Latin America, from Venezuela to Puerto Rico, throughout Africa, from Angola and South Africa, from the Philippines, throughout Europe, Ireland, from China and Russia, and throughout Asia, it was Fidel and only Fidel whose birthday was celebrated worldwide. No one else has won the love and respect that Comrade Fidel has won. No one. Fidel is one of the greatest revolutionaries in history and has remained faithful to his revolutionary principles throughout his life. As was written in Grandma, Fidel does not fit in one epoch. He does not even really fit in the world. He is, for the suffering planet, one of those indispensable people because he is one of those who struggles for all his life. Even his arch enemies, like mass murderer Henry Kissinger in his memoir, described Fidel as the most genuine revolutionary leader in power. They knew and they know. A Fidelista and Grandma said, defending socialism in order to resolve humanity's problems, even during the most difficult times in Cuba's history, placed Fidel on the short list of revolutionaries who have known how to interpret the significance of the historic moment at every single juncture in his life. I read in a book once about Fidel where the author quoted a comrade of Fidel's who said that Fidel can see around corners. This, of course, did not mean that Fidel had X-ray vision or some kind of superhero, but that Fidel was so advanced in his thinking and analysis that he could see developments and phenomena before anyone else could. It was in 1992 when Fidel first raised the issue of climate change, long before other government leaders. He was the first to raise the cancellation of the debt by Latin America to U.S. imperialism. In 2013, Fidel said on climate change, today, in addition to nuclear weapons, the most imminent danger is climate change, which could, within less than a century, make survival for the human race impossible. And as we witness the tragedy of what's going on in Louisiana and California right now, we can see that this is, of course, a dire situation. Comrade Hugo Chavez said of Fidel, to me, he is a father, a comrade, a master of impeccable strategy. And that is why the number one reason that socialist Cuba has been able to not only survive the attempt by imperialism for over 50 years to sabotage and overturn the revolution is Fidel and his ability to embrace the masses and lift up their consciousness. The Cuban Revolution has not only survived, one could say that it has even thrived to the best of its ability under difficult conditions. Current relations between the U.S. and Cuba have changed, but the goals remain the same by imperialism, as was especially laid out in Comrade Fidel's superb letter entitled Brother Obama, that everyone should read if you haven't. And I added this especially for Monica. On October the 22nd in 1973, Fidel was hanging out with some athletes. And they asked him, about his life. And he said, if I had been born in this epoch, you know what I would be? And he said, an athlete. That he would be an athlete. And he would have been great because he's a baseball player and other things. And I just want to summarize with this. Fidel wrote a few years ago, and one should really read a lot of Fidel. You really should, because it's so orienting about how to conduct a struggle and what kind of communist to be and so forth and so on. But I took one of his quotes that he wrote just a few years ago. Revolution is struggling with audacity, with intelligence and realism. It is never lying or violating ethical principles. It is a profound conviction that there is no power in the world that can crush the power of truth and ideas. Revolution is unity. It is independence. It is struggling for our dreams of justice for Cuba and for the world, which is the foundation of our patriotism, our socialism, and our internationalism. End of quote. Comrades, we were not able to carry out the necessary study and commemoration of Fidel's 90th birthday that we would have liked to have done in the party because of the Moorehead Lilly campaign. And in fact, we were actually practicing unity in California last weekend in the Peace and Freedom Party. But we will in the future, I am certain, take the time to study and analyze and learn more about the teachings of Comrade Fidel Castro Ruz. In the meantime, I think the best birthday gift that we can give Fidel and all the Cuban people is to continue to build our party and end U.S. imperialism once and for all. That would be the greatest birthday gift to all the world struggling to free themselves from the yoke of imperialism. Long live the Cuban Revolution.